Omelete aqui na Gamescom Latam 2025, com a grande honra de estar aqui conversando com o Shuhei Yoshida. Tem uma carreira ilustríssima aí na PlayStation, mais de 30 anos trabalhando com mais os principais sucessos aí do console da Sony, e também trabalhando muito com os jogos indies, né, a relação da PlayStation com jogos indies, e tá aqui como convidado de honra da Gamescom Latam. Yoshida-san, thank you so much for this time to speak with us very quickly. I know you're going to be very soon on the award show. So, is this your first time here in Brazil? Second time.
Yeah.
And did you manage to see any new games?
Yeah,
Has anything impressed you so far?
This afternoon, I was able to walk around and I checked out many games from Brazil. There's a big section of area dedicated to showcasing games from Brazil.
Has any title impressed you so far?
Yeah, there are so many, interesting games. One particular game, I really like the action game. I forgot the name of the game, but it was in the indie section.
Awesome. And in all those years working with AAA games and independent games, what is the biggest difference between working with these scopes of projects, between working with a AAA game and working with indie developers?
Yeah, working on AAA games is fantastic. There are so many talents involved to make games, and they spend lots of time and resource to create this beautiful game that so many people can enjoy. However, indie games, always comes up with amazing new ideas. Like this year's game, like a Blueprints, it's unbelievably fresh idea to the puzzle, adventure genre. That kind of idea will never come out from the AAA development.
And we see this trend that every single year we get this huge indie hit, like last year we had with Balatro, and then we go like in the next year the game developer conference and other events, they're always trying to find the next Balatro.
Absolutely.
But it's very hard to find these kinds of games. So how do you manage to find these kinds of games?
Well, yeah. So when I worked at PlayStation, we are very lucky that all the indie publishers and developers used to they bring their games in development to show us even before they make an announcement, so that we are able to identify many good games, worked on PlayStation, so that we can feature these games in the shows like State of Play, or feature on the PlayStation Store, or promote on PlayStation social channels. And when I left PlayStation this January, I started advising indie publishers and indie developers, and one of the my client is a indie publisher called Kepler Interactive. They just released game Expedition 33. That's such a beautiful game. Actually, we saw the game 3 years ago when I was at PlayStation, and I was encouraging the developer because the developer was working on JRPG style game with the real-time button input in the turn-based battle. That was inspired by games like Mario RPG or the Legend of Dragoon, which I produced a long time ago. So I was really happy for them to making the brand new games, taking inspiration from these games. And luckily Kepler Interactive picked up as a publisher and helped the game to become such a beautiful, excellent game. So like Kepler, like Sony, we are always looking for new amazing games, and we spend lots of time going through the submissions and pitches, and we go to events and look at games from all over the world. So that's one of the reasons I'm here in Brazil, to look for fresh ideas from developers in Latin America.
That's great. And last year you made a top 10 indie games, the top 10 games you most likely even was on PlayStation blog. This year, can you give us a sneak peek for the list? You mentioned Blueprints and Clair Obscur so far.
Yes, so far Blueprints and Expedition 33 and Promise Mascot Agency, in which I did voice acting for one of the characters, and I finished the game. It's a fantastic game. And another game published by Kepler Interactive, Bionic Bay. It's a very beautiful action platformer physics-based. It's a new game from the developer who created Badland series that was super popular back in the days on iPad. So these, 4 games so far have been my top indie games. But other games, looking forward to this year include the game called Baby Steps. I don't know if you have seen. It's really interesting game that you get to learn how to walk. So, making the character walk is a challenge. And when you get to be able to do that, walking uphill, and one mistake, you slide down all the way back to the bottom of the hill. So it's such a punishing game, but it's gonna be super popular by streamers because it's so funny to watch other people play. So that's another game, and another game, huge game from Kepler Interactive later this year is called Rematch. It's a 5-on-5 football game. That's going to be super popular. I'm feeling they've been doing the beta testing, and they are getting amazing feedback from the people who tried the game.
Awesome. And to wrap it up, what is the most important advice you would give to aspiring game developers?
Is to just make games and show your games to your friends or on the internet, on the social network, and try to get the feedback from people who look at your game. And you might be able to find your friend or your collaborator. And if you are good and lucky, you might even get your game being funded by publishers and venture capital, because they are always look out for fresh new ideas on the internet.
That's awesome. Yoshida-san, thank you so much for your time, for this very brief but very enlightening interview. Yeah. E deixa aqui um comentário se vocês curtiram aí. E não se esqueça também de deixar um joinha aqui no vídeo e de assinar o canal do Omelete Z. Valeu!